Hi, Dr. Lim here. After we changed our strategies, instead of focusing on health food, we shifted to day-to-day drinks like coffee for the market in Philippines. The strategy worked and people started to join the DXN. However, in the beginning, the meeting was not too big. Only dozens of members were coming to meet. We felt we must mobilize the people and go for bigger meetings. As our experience in Indonesia showed, if we can mobilize people to meet, we can mobilize the market. At that time, the market in Indonesia was declining due to a few reasons. Most important was the leaders were not trained in marketing and they did not know how to face the market effectively. They relied heavily on the marketing department of the company to do the training and meeting for them. So when the market became stabilized, more and more MLM companies were entering the market. DXN started to face stiff competition. But the leaders lacked the capability and the skill to counter the attack from the companies, to other companies. As DXN is a real MLM company, we never spend money to make the meeting look very grand and make the packaging look extravagant. I keep on telling the members, all this kind of colorful shows are useless. And this was you who pay for it actually, that make the products costly and unsustainable. However, many leaders were not proficient in dealing with the market. When facing other company using so much funfair to promote their products, they felt the essence was dull and not colorful. What was deadly was they started to doubt the company and believe in the competitor easily. When DXN started the market in Philippines, we decided to let the leader lead the market, not the marketing section. So the leader could face the challenges in the market effectively. That is a major shift in our approach to market. And sure enough, in the early days, the competitors started to attack DXN. They attacked anything from the packaging to the marketing plan and our training system. Especially in Cebu, the central Philippines, they faced stiff competition and attack from one American company. They keep on saying DXN was a small and weak company, our training was poor and no training at all, our packaging is lousy and the quality of the products were doubtful, and etc. and etc. Our leaders simply could not counter their attack. So when I came back to Philippines again, a lot of complaints came to me. Even if I guide the leader how to counter such a baseless attack, many of them still feel difficult to face them. Eventually, I asked the leader to invite the competitors to meet for some coffee. The members from the competitor company was excited now. As I am the founder of DXN, if they can bash me in front of DXN members, then it will be the end of DXN. Finally, about a dozen members and we meet equal numbers of them in one cafe in Cebu. The cafe joined the narrow tables into a long tables, and each side about 15 people and facing each other. All of them came with neat coat, ties. The hair was nicely combed and they sit upright, and look serious. Our member came with all sorts of shirts in various colors now. The hair was not combed properly and they're still putting their hand now on the chin side, leaning from left to right like this now. All the opposite guys look neat and uniform with the same dress, same tie, same hairstyle, and even the same type of smile. They were dismayed to look at the colorful display of DXN members wearing various style clothes. The leader sat right in front of me and looked dead serious now. His face was swollen and not smiling. Even though I tried to start the meeting with a smile, but there's no smile from them. By right, we should exchange some pleasantry while waiting for a coffee to warm up the atmosphere before the meeting. But I think they already get used to whack DXN members. I did not care for any courtesy. The leader started to ask me a funny question now, before even the coffee were served. Are you coming for a meeting or for shopping? I told him we were not coming here for holidays, so it was not shopping trip. I invite him to talk. No need to worry. whether we want to shop or want to sing karaoke here. He leaned towards me, and looked at me fiercely and said to me curtly, "Look, mister, we are serious MIM leaders. We have a good system to train our leaders and to manage our market." Then he pointed to his member. "Look at them. They are well trained and wear smartly and uniformly. We project ourselves as professional to the market." Then he started to point to some of our leaders. "Look at them. They are not coming here for a meeting. They are so happy-go-lucky, never serious, and more like coming for shopping. How can they manage the market in this manner?" Some of our members started to look angry, when they heard such a negative comment on them. I waved my hand slightly to them and be patient. Let the competitors talk first. The opposite leaders almost raised his voice and stressed again, "We have a system to train our members. We have discipline. We wear neatly and uniformly. All of us follow the same way and people respect us as a team. We even buy the car with the same plate number. When we go to the market, we are a professional team. We train and well equipped." Then he pointed to our liaison leaders who wear very colorful shirts without wearing a tie and said, "Look at them. You have no system. Your company is a small company from a small village, from a developing country. You know nothing about the system. You know nothing about how to impress the market. You project yourself in such a lousy manner, no one will take you seriously." The ASM members started to feel agitated. Again, I request them to stay calm. The opposite leaders continued to boast. "Look at our founder. She is a PhD holder and 9 doctors are under her training. Doctors, not any Tom, Dick and Harry." Then when he mentioned PhD, he spelled it out loud and pointed his finger to stress his point. And gestured his hand in the air to stress the company forever. Training the doctor, not the Tom and Harry from the side. Then he continued. "We are American company. American." Very funny. I started to smile. They annoyed him immediately. He almost shouted, "We have a system, not like you. Have no system. Our founder came to the Philippines, selected the cream of the market, 100 of them, and trained them for 2 weeks. After that, select the best of the best, 10 of them, and sent to America to train for 2 weeks. Where is the training of DXN? Where is the training, sir? There is no training in DXN. DXN leaders started to get agitated and look at them with burning eyes. I asked them to stay calm. The more those opposite idiots try to talk, the more they shall suffer later. "We are an international company. We establish many branches in the world with good office, good promoting material, and good material," they said. They keep on boasting how good his company and how bad DXN was compared to it. When he saw me sitting quietly and listened to his boasting, I felt thrill at his voice get higher and higher. I had to control the leaders of DXN not to punch his face. After about 45 minutes to nearly an hour or so, he was apparently tired of shouting and waving gesture. Finally, he stopped. I asked him, as he completed his word, has he completed his points? He said back, "Yes." Now it was my turn for fun. I asked him, "Mister, why did you join MIM?" He was taken aback by my question. He expected me to defend DXN, and he could keep on whacking me. I tried to show it to DXN leaders. When someone comes and boasts about his company and how good is their company and how bad is DXN, ignore his point. Analyze his weak point and use our strong point to whack them. As simple as that. I asked him again. Are you joining MIM to wear a black suit? To tie a tie neatly? And all sitting the same way and smile the same way? He was stunned by my question. He could not answer me. Then I answered for them. "Mister, the most important thing in MIM is the bonus you get at each month. Am I right?" They have to agree with me. Then I asked them point blank, "How much are you making, sir?" They did not answer me. Before I went for the meeting, I have done some homework about them and their company. Their products were from America and far away. And for the past few months, they are facing shortage of products because the local partner did not pay for the goods to the American company, and their bonus become very poor now. I pointed to my leaders now and talked to the opposition again. They are making good money now and better bonus than you now. It does not matter whether today they come for meeting or shopping. They are the real marketers, not the opera performers who perform so well on the stage and become nothing when they return to the ground. Then I pointed to myself now. I am also a PhD holder. What is so great about PhD? We have 4,000 doctors join us in Indonesia, and many times I train a few hundreds of them at a time now. And your founder trained 9 doctors, and you're yelling so up here. Are you not feeling shameful? Your company is an international company. DXN also an international company. But your company had partnership with locals everywhere. And one word, too many markets. You never synchronize your marketing plan. One country, one plan. In DXN, we practice one word, one market. You join member in DXN, and then you can sponsor people around the world like your neighbor. That is the real system. Who say DXN have no system? Then I asked him, what is the most important thing in MLM to guarantee your success? It's not the coat you wear, not the tie you display. This is the duplication of your network. In your system, you need 2 weeks, for basic training, 2 weeks for advanced training. If you were to duplicate the system, ding dong, take 2 months. In DXN, we go for simplicity. In the morning, we train the members. We started to duplicate the system. In the afternoon, ding dong, only 1 day. Much faster than your 2 months to go and flow. How are you going to compete with us? You keep on talking about the packaging and quality of your products. How much is the cactus juice you're selling? They sell some kind of cactus juice now, okay, for $100 a bottle. The market for cactus juice is very limited now. Can you sell it in a village? Can you sell it in any strata of the society? No, you cannot. The price is too high. Because you pay for the colorful event, extravaganza of showing off, all this need money, and you pay for it. Look at the coffee of DXN. It's hardly a few dollars. A professor can buy it. A farmer also can buy it. We are the real company. We go to all levels in the society, and we are successful in selling to them. It took me about 10 minutes now to make my point, and they were stunned and couldn't answer any of my questions. DXN leaders wanted to make fun of them, but stop by me now. We are here for meeting now, not to shop of course, but also not for gang fight. I excused myself and started to leave. All of them actually lined up and shook hands with me. No more arrogance as in the beginning. Later, the founder of the company had a big issue with her husband, and the whole company was in big trouble. Added to the non-payment of the local shareholder in Philippines, they ran out of products for more than 3 months. The market simply collapsed now. And many of their members joined DXN. From this story, sustainability is the most important factor in MLM. What is the point of display beautiful like a peacock? And at the end of the day, chicken out. I shall tell you more funny story from our competitors in the next video.